Okay, when I say the word angel, what pops into your head? I'm guessing it's probably something with big, fluffy white wings, maybe a halo, right? Well, it turns out the beings actually described in the Bible are way stranger, a lot more complex, and honestly, a lot more terrifying. So let's dive into this field guide to what angels are really like in the scriptures, from the messengers who walked on earth to the bizarre creatures guarding the very throne of God.
Here's the game plan. We'll start by tearing down the popular myth. Then, we'll meet the common angels, the ones who actually interact with humanity. From there, we're going to look at the one and only Archangel before we ascend into heaven to see its truly bizarre guardians. And finally, we'll uncover a mysterious figure who is in a category all his own.
All right, let's get one thing straight right off the bat. For this explainer, we are only looking at what the biblical texts themselves describe. We're going to set aside all the later traditions, all the art, all the myths, just to see what the source material actually says. And trust me, it is wild. I mean, just look at this. On one side, you've got the gentle, harp-playing figure we all know from Christmas cards, but on the other, you have what the Bible talks about. Things that look like intersecting gyroscopes covered in eyes, beings with the face of a lion, figures with eyes that burn like torches. It's a pretty big difference, wouldn't you say? So let's cover a few of the fundamentals. First, angels are created beings. God made them, so they aren't eternal. They haven't just always existed, but they are immortal, meaning they don't die. They live in an unseen spiritual realm. They don't get married or have kids, and they're almost always referred to with male pronouns and names in the text. Okay, let's move on to the type of angel you've probably heard the most about, the ones that are actually sent to Earth to interact with people. We'll call them the common angels, even though their jobs are anything but common. These angels pretty much have three main jobs. First, and this is the big one, they're messengers. In fact, the word angel literally means messenger. Second, they get sent on specific missions, to perform a miracle or something like that. And third, well, these are the ones you really don't want to meet, the judgment angels, sent to carry out a divine sentence. And just to show you how central that messenger role is, get this, the entire final book of the Bible, the epic book of Revelation, is basically framed as one long message delivered by an angel to a human. The only messenger angel who's actually named, by the way, is Gabriel, famous for announcing the births of John the Baptist and, of course, Jesus. So what do these angels look like? Well, that's the thing. It's all over the map. Sometimes they showed up looking just like ordinary men, so much so that they could sit down and share a meal. Then you have the angel at Jesus' tomb, who is described as looking like a flash of lightning. And then there's the one who visited the prophet Daniel, a being with skin like polished bronze and eyes like flaming torches that made Daniel literally pass out from terror. Okay, now we're gonna level up. We're moving from the common angels to a category that, even though it's super famous in pop culture, is incredibly exclusive. We're talking about a category of one, actually, the Archangel. Yep, you heard that right. While you may have heard of a whole team of archangels in movies or books, the Bible only ever gives that specific title to a single being, Michael. This means Archangel isn't a rank that lots of angels hold, it's a unique title for a very unique individual. And this story right here really shows Michael's role in this ongoing cosmic war. When Daniel started praying, God immediately sent a messenger angel. But that angel got intercepted and had to fight for 21 days straight against a demonic power called the Prince of Persia. The fight was basically a stalemate until Michael, the Archangel, showed up as backup. Only then could the message finally get through. So who is this guy, Michael? Well, he's identified as the spiritual prince and guardian of the nation of Israel. But his resume is even more impressive than that. The book of Revelation describes him as the general of heaven's armies, the one who led the charge that kicked Satan and all his rebellious angels out of heaven for good. All right, prepare yourselves, because this is where things get truly, truly strange. We are leaving the physical world behind and crossing over into the spiritual realm to see the beings that exist right in God's direct presence. The human-like forms are gone now, replaced by creatures that are just awesome and deeply mysterious. First up, the Ophanim. Their name literally just means wheels. You know when people online talk about biblically accurate angels? Yeah, this is usually what they're picturing, and for very good reason. They are one of the most bizarre things described anywhere in the Bible. The prophet Ezekiel described them as a wheel intersecting another wheel. Their rims were tall and awesome and were covered all the way around with eyes. They could move in any direction, forward, backward, left, right, without ever having to turn. And their purpose? They are the living wheels of God's celestial throne chariot.
Okay, so let's build on that image. If the Ophanim are the wheels of this divine chariot, then our next group, the Cherubim, are basically the powerful horses that drive it. They are the living engines of God's very throne.
So the cherubim seem to have three main jobs. They're defenders, guarding God's pure holiness, like when they blocked Adam and Eve from getting back to the tree of life. They are upholders, literally forming the living vehicle or mount for God's throne. And they are worshipers, constantly crying out, "Holy, holy, holy is the Lord God Almighty."
And here's where we get a pretty shocking twist from the source material. Only one cherub is ever really described with a backstory, and it happens to be the most influential one of all. He was called an anointed guardian cherub, created perfect and beautiful, who was thrown down from his high position because his heart filled with pride. And this cherub, the text tells us, is Satan. But believe it or not, there is a rank even closer to the throne than the cherubim. Meet the Seraphim. Their name means the burning ones. They have 6 wings. With 2 they fly, with 2 they cover their feet, and with 2 they cover their faces, shielding themselves as a sign of reverence for the pure, overwhelming holiness of God. So we've climbed the celestial ladder all the way to the top, or have we? Our final section is about a figure who seems to break all the rules and defy all these categories, a being who isn't just near the throne, but who speaks with the authority of the throne. All throughout the Old Testament, this specific figure keeps showing up with the title, the Angel of the Lord. So who is he? Because he definitely doesn't act like any other angel we've seen so far.
The clues are all in how he talks. When he stops Abraham from sacrificing Isaac, he doesn't say, "You haven't withheld your son from God." He says, "From me." He speaks with God's authority. He accepts worship, and he makes promises only God should be able to make. And it gets even more direct than that. When speaking to Moses from the burning bush, this angel doesn't beat around the bush. He just comes right out and says it. "I am the God of your father." This is clearly not just some regular messenger. So the conclusion that the source material points to is this. This unique figure, the Angel of the Lord, is believed to be none other than a pre-incarnate appearance of Jesus Christ. He speaks as God, he accepts worship, and he even forgives sin. And it's probably no coincidence that after Jesus shows up in the New Testament, the title the Angel of the Lord is never used again. Which leaves you with one final thought. If the divine king was showing up and interacting with humanity from the very beginning, how does that change the way we read the entire story?